What are mala beads? Mala beads are a type of prayer beads that are used in some Eastern spiritual traditions, such as Hinduism and Buddhism. They consist of a string of beads that are traditionally made from materials such as wood, bone, or seeds, and are often worn as a necklace or bracelet. The number of beads on a mala can vary, but 108 is a common number, as it is considered to be a sacred number in some traditions. Some people believe that the beads have spiritual or energetic properties, and that using them can help to focus the mind and cultivate a sense of inner peace and well-being. Mala beads are often used in conjunction with other spiritual practices, such as yoga or mindfulness meditation, and are considered to be a sacred and personal object for many people. They are also sometimes used as a decorative accessory, and can be made from a variety of materials and in a range of styles. Why is the number 108 considered sacred? The number 108 is considered to be a sacred number in many Eastern spiritual traditions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. It is thought to have a special significance and to represent various spiritual truths or principles. In Hinduism, 108 is considered to be a sacred number because it is thought to represent the 108 earthly desires of the human being. It is also believed to represent the 108 qualities of the heart, and the 108 qualities of the divine. In Buddhism, 108 is thought to represent the 108 earthly desires that must be overcome in order to attain enlightenment. In some traditions, 108 is also seen as a symbol of the cosmos, and is thought to represent the 9 planets, the 12 zodiac signs, and the 108 earthly desires of the human being. It is also thought to be a number that can bring good luck, and is sometimes used in talismans or other protective charms. The significance of the number 108 varies depending on the tradition and context in which it is used, and it is often seen as a symbol of spiritual enlightenment or transformation. What are the 108 earthly desires of the human being? In some Eastern spiritual traditions, it is believed that the human being has 108 earthly desires or cravings. These desires are thought to be the root cause of suffering and are seen as obstacles to spiritual enlightenment. In some cases, the desires are seen as being divided into categories, such as physical desires, emotional desires, and mental desires. Some common desires that may be included in the 108 earthly desires are physical desires. These may include desires for food, shelter, comfort, and physical pleasure. Emotional desires. These may include desires for love, security, acceptance, and happiness. Mental desires. These may include desires for knowledge, power, control, and success. The idea of the 108 earthly desires is often used as a way to help people understand the sources of suffering, and to cultivate a sense of detachment from worldly desires in order to achieve spiritual enlightenment. What is the poison of ignorance? In some Eastern spiritual traditions, ignorance, also called avidya in Sanskrit, is considered to be one of the 3 poisons that obscure the true nature of reality and cause suffering. The other 2 poisons are attachment and aversion. Ignorance is typically understood as a lack of understanding or knowledge about the true nature of things, and is often seen as the root cause of suffering. It is thought to lead people to hold mistaken beliefs or to perceive things in a distorted way, which can lead to suffering. In some traditions, ignorance is seen as a lack of understanding about the nature of the self and the nature of reality. It is thought to lead people to identify with their ego or sense of self, which is seen as a temporary and illusory construct. This identification with the ego is thought to lead people to become attached to worldly desires and to suffer when those desires are not fulfilled. The poison of ignorance is often seen as the most fundamental and pervasive of the three poisons, and is thought to be the root cause of the other two poisons. It is often seen as the first obstacle to spiritual enlightenment, and is thought to be overcome through spiritual practice and self-inquiry. What is the poison of attachment? In some Eastern spiritual traditions, attachment, also called raga in Sanskrit, is considered to be one of the three poisons that obscure the true nature of reality and cause suffering. The other two poisons are ignorance and aversion. Attachment is typically understood as an intense desire or longing for something or someone, and is often seen as a form of clinging or grasping. It is thought to lead people to become overly focused on certain objects, ideas, or people, and to suffer when those things are not present or when they change. In some traditions, attachment is seen as a result of ignorance, which leads people to believe that their happiness depends on external circumstances or objects. The poison of attachment is often seen as a key obstacle to spiritual enlightenment, and is thought to be overcome through spiritual practice and the cultivation of detachment. This can involve letting go of attachments to material possessions and external circumstances, and instead focusing on inner peace and contentment. What is the poison of aversion? In some Eastern spiritual traditions, aversion, also called disha in Sanskrit, is considered to be one of the three poisons that obscure the true nature of reality and cause suffering. Aversion is typically understood as a strong dislike or hatred for something or someone, and is often seen as a form of resistance or avoidance. It is thought to lead people to become overly focused on negative aspects of their experience, and to suffer as a result. In some traditions, aversion is seen as a result of ignorance and attachment, which lead people to believe that certain things or circumstances are harmful or undesirable. It is thought to lead people to become fixated on avoiding or eliminating certain experiences or objects, and to suffer as a result. The poison of aversion is often seen as a key obstacle to spiritual enlightenment, and is thought to be overcome through spiritual practice and the cultivation of acceptance and equanimity. This can involve letting go of negative emotions and judgments, and instead adopting a more open and accepting attitude towards one's experiences.